How much money do you think you need to get started on your investment journey and building wealth? Well, stick around for this video and we'll talk about that and get into it, and I'll explain what you need to do. My God, today is Thursday, December 7th. I can't believe how fast the year went by. I can't believe how fast the week's going by. I didn't even have time to shave today. I hope you guys are okay with that. I didn't get to do my video yesterday and I was about to miss two in a row, and I may have. I apologize for that. I've just been super busy between a bunch of stuff. Anyway, before I get into how much you need to start an account, do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. It only takes a second and I really appreciate it. It helps YouTube's algorithm, which I know some of you know, and if you appreciate the content, it helps other people find it as well. I'm going to put a couple links in the description. I know I mentioned it in other videos, but it actually makes sense with the one I'm going to talk about today, because part of what I'm going to get into is how little you really need to get started. And it's super little. I mean, if you put in $25, that's really all you need to get started in investing. Now, you want to build from there, but the links in the description, before I forget, I'm going to put two links for open, or one link for open an account at SoFi. If you deposit $10 or more, they're going to give you a $25 bonus. So that's really all you need to get started in your investing career. On top of that, it gives a gift to an account that I open with my son. He's 13 years old. I try to teach him about investing and saving as well. It's super cool when you guys do that because it gets him excited. And being his dad, he doesn't always listen, which I know I've mentioned. But when that happens, it helps to keep him engaged. And I think it's really important for everybody. So I want people excited about saving. The reason I do this stuff is I've been really fortunate that my parents instilled that in me, and I did it from a really young age. And what I found is it really paid off. And it didn't have to be a lot of money. It was $25 here or there, 50 here or there, whatever I could when I would get birthday gifts or whatever it is. Instead of going and getting myself something maybe I needed, maybe I didn't need, I always kind of got excited about putting it away and saving it. And now that I'm older, I get excited when I see the account grow. Like, it's super cool. And if I can help you guys learn some of that, that'd be great as well. It's also, I had a client of mine give me a call. They'd seen a couple of the videos and they were asking some of the questions about how do I get started. They even asked if I could do a class. And my answer was, look, I'm happy to do any of it, but the reality is it's nothing I can't answer in a text or an email or respond on the YouTube videos. It's really easy to do. And the first step is just opening an account somewhere. If you don't want to use the link, don't use the link. But opening an account is putting your name and date of birth and stuff in an account and just opening it. And then put in 25 or $50 or an amount of money you're not really worried about, and pick something. There's plenty of stuff out there. If you don't know the ticker symbol, if you don't know how to begin or what to look for, send me a comment in the YouTube video. I'll be happy to help find stuff. And look, don't follow my investment advice. And I mean that seriously. Everybody's in a different position. You need to make your own decisions for you of what makes financial sense. But what I realized is almost everything is a company. So I started looking at things that I used and places I go to. If you eat at Cracker Barrel, they're a stock. If you go to Best Buy, they're a stock. If you use Apple products, they're a stock. If you watch on YouTube, well, that's part of Google. Amazon. Everything you use and you like, generally they might be a bigger company and trade on the stock exchange. And I was watching this guy. I'm going to look at my piece of paper. So the Dream Green show, I think, with this guy Zeke, I love it. He gets into it in one of his videos of when he started, where he bought, I think, $20 or $30 worth of a stock, and he got like a 50-cent dividend, and he didn't know what a dividend was. And all of a sudden he saw, actually I think it was like 6 cents or whatever, he saw the 6 cents go into the account when the dividend paid. So he started looking into more things with dividend. And I'm like a dividend junkie. I don't If you're looking to grow an account, depending on your age, which is why I say it needs to make sense for you, dividends aren't always the greatest because they get double taxed and whatever else. But my ultimate goal is to have passive income enough from the dividends that I don't have to worry about anything, and it kind of covers the bills. What I like about dividends is no renters, no air conditioners, no nothing to worry about. Now, I have investment properties too, and my passion has been real estate as well. But what I like about dividends is how easy it is. But stocks have so many different varieties of things that match different people, whether it's exchange traded funds. The only thing I don't like about the exchange traded funds is you really need to do more research than you realize, because you might buy four of them thinking you're super diversified, and in reality, they might overlap the same exact companies or similar ones. People sometimes don't do the research into the exchange traded funds to know what they're actually buying. They just figure it's an amalgam of a bunch of S&P stocks, or whether it's the Qs and the Nasdaq stocks or whatever it is. But there are tons of ways to invest, and there's tons of way to get involved. The reason I say to just start is it's getting past that first step and the fear that really does a good amount for somebody. If you open the account and you put in an amount of money that you're not worried about, whatever that number is, and you find something to invest it in, I think what you'll end up seeing is, oh, it's not that big a deal. You're not going to have these huge swings, and you're not going to turn $1,000 into 1 million. It just doesn't work like that. But I find if you put money into the markets and give it time, you will outperform what you do in the bank account or cash in a mattress or whatever it is that it's not really gaining return. And then if you don't like stocks, I mean, go look at the things you do know about that you think will go up in value. It really doesn't matter what it is. My ultimate goal is just to get people to save and put away so that when retirement comes around, you don't find yourself in a position where you don't know how to cover the bills and you're relying on Social Security that may or may not be there, or just haven't thought about it. What gives me comfort is feeling like, the bills will be covered, we'll have a place to stay, and we'll be just fine as we get into our later years. And I try to make sure it's enough for my wife and me, and then I pray to God I'm able to give my son a good head start. Like I said, that's why I do those links and try to teach him about savings, because I started when I was like 14 or 15 years old. And from there, I just kept doing it and doing it. Now that I'm 50 years old, I'm really glad I did. I look back, I find myself in a comfortable spot. And I see these guys like Zeke talking about how little they're putting in every chance he gets to put in another 20 or 30 bucks. And he's built up a pretty big portfolio, which is why I said it doesn't need to be a lot. It's just starting it and sticking with it and doing it. And be wary of companies that are overhyped and overselling yield or things like that. I get a little sensitive to these yield max funds that have been out there recently. I don't think people recognize the risk that they're taking to give those types of returns. If you're looking for good dividend stocks, there's plenty out there. My favorite right now, again, do your own research, is NextEra Energy Partners. I think they're paying like a 13% dividend. And my real thought is, next year, you're going to see the Fed start cutting rates. You're going to see interest rates go down. You're going to see money going back into the markets. And anything that's paying a good dividend right now, by then the stock prices are probably, in my mind, likely, but probably going to be higher, because if a CD right now is paying 5% and you want to get paid a little bit more than that, if a CD is now only paying 2 or 3%, well, then the yield on something else is going to likely be lower as well, which means the prices are higher. There's that inverse relationship on those things. Anyway, I've been super busy. I apologize that this video is going to be real short too. Again, do me a favor, give a thumbs up, like, subscribe, make some comments. Tell me what you guys like for investments. Do you like real estate? Do you like stocks? Do you like collectibles? Do you like wine and things like that? I mean, there's all sorts of things out there that tend to go up in value. What really got me started when I was a kid is I was collecting baseball cards. I found one booth at some event that would pay me $2 for a Don Mattingly rookie, and I found another one that would sell it to me for $1, and I was going back and forth, and I'd buy a bunch for, well, like five of them for $1, because $5 was a good amount of money. I'd go to the other one, I'd get my $10 and go back and do it again. After the second time, the guys followed me to the booth and bought all their cards. So what a bunch of jerks. I couldn't have been but 8 years old or something. Um, anyway, again, thumbs up, like, subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow or this weekend.